Victorville's changed a little bit. Quite a change. 30 years ago, George Air Force Base was transformed to SCLA. Amazing transformation. If you look today, what they've accomplished. Here today to talk about is Keith Metzler, City Manager of Victorville, to give us an in-depth view of not only the city, but SCLA. Give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Coldwell Banker, for having me back. It's been a couple years since I've been here, and I didn't know if I should take that personal or not, but I did get invited back, so they probably just didn't have anybody else to fill. They had an extra spot, and they said, let's give Keith a try again. And so with that, yes, I am the city manager for the city of Victorville. Been the city manager for a little over 7 years now, but I've actually served with the city for now 29 years with the city. And my passion has been where I started in the industry, in the organization, which was in economic development. So certainly appreciate being back in this kind of an audience because my background started in economic development. I used to be a deal junkie like many of you in terms of trying to promote real estate transactions, whether they're commercial, industrial, or residential throughout the city. And so with that, my game plan a little bit today was to share with you a little bit about some of that history that Jason alluded to a little bit, because for Victorville, we've been very focused on trying to develop a balanced economy in Victorville at least. That's our responsibility. And in large part, it has to do with some of the history. We've stayed true to that history, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that over the course of this presentation. But then also share with you a little bit about what's going on as we're trying to fulfill the provision of additional services to our residents. And so with that, see if we can get this click. Oh my gosh, wow, amazing. Photoshop is a beautiful thing. Thank you, Coldwell Banker. That is so, I'm going to ask for that slide so I can use it in some of my future slides or future presentations, and maybe if I'm allowed back. And so with that, many of you may already know we in Victorville are fortunate to have what we characterize as a very diverse economy with business growth across many sectors ranging from retail and warehousing to manufacturing and aviation. This diversification provides great opportunity for economic growth, and last year was another amazing year for our experience in the city of Victorville. And so starting with just this last December, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of our Southern California Logistics Airport. That was the former George Air Force Base that finally did close down in 1992. And I would say SCLA's importance to this region is undeniable. It's the largest employment center in the Victor Valley, home to Fortune 500 companies like Boeing and General Electric Aviation. And it's the reason Victorville has emerged as a leader in the aviation, industrial, and manufacturing industries. When the Department of Defense announced the closure of George in 1988, we were facing a huge hit to our economy with the loss of 7,500 direct jobs. That's what was estimated then that were lost, and it caused us to lose the buying power of many Air Force families who patronized our local business. I was here then. Many of you were here then, and we probably all remember a lot of the same thing. Of course, the region and the city was a lot smaller. And of course, we saw a lot of our small retail mom and pop shops closing up. It was a tough time for us, and it was a long road for recovery. But thankfully, our city leaders acted on their vision for what the base could become, a thriving business center that would drive our local and regional economy, bringing jobs to our residents. And that's been one of our biggest focuses in Victorville, is bringing back a broad base of jobs. And so now SCLA's on-airport operations cater to the entire aircraft life cycle, including flight and engine testing, maintenance and repair and painting, dismantling and recycling of aircraft, and aircraft asset management. I happened to be out at the airport yesterday just to see what was going on. It's something I do in the form of my break from City Hall. I'll drive out to the airport just to see what's on the ramp or perhaps even what's taking off. And one of the coolest things I saw, just as a reminder of all the hard work that's gone into getting to this point, is I actually saw a completely unpainted Boeing aircraft. It was a 737, it was one of the new ones. And it's unpainted. It's got the green protection type coatings on it. Came directly from the Boeing plant up in Washington State. And so what that tells me when I see that on the ramp is that the painting facilities certainly up in Washington are full. They're still building aircraft, they're pumping them out, and they're actually relying on SCLA to do the finishing work so that they can actually deliver those aircraft to the intended customer. And that customer looked to be United Airlines for that aircraft. The off-airport development is transformed into a thriving industrial center with more than 7 million square feet of space occupied by industry-leading companies. SCLA today, so from our humble beginning in 1994, we've grown to 62 companies operating at SCLA now. Our airport tenantable space, if you could believe this, is 99% occupied. And SCLA is the largest employment center here in the desert, generating 4,500 local jobs. We're certainly grateful to the many businesses who have invested in SCLA and have been a part of its success, including our development partner Sterling Capital in the early days, and more recently Prologis and Covington Capital, as we have two development partners and development relationships out at SCLA. We're grateful to the many businesses who have invested in SCLA and have been part of its success, including our actually I just said that, sorry. SCLA's future continues to be bright and we're gaining a tremendous amount of momentum. Here's something cool for you. In February of last year, Anduril Industries leased nearly 34,000 square feet of space at SCLA for its flight testing operation. Anduril is an American defense company specialized in autonomous air vehicle systems. We believe flight testing will continue to be thriving industry at SCLA, mainly because of our proximity to the restricted airspace and our great flying weather. Currently, Prologis is constructing 1.3 million square feet of warehousing space for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. This one's a project that's particularly close to me because one of the first industrial projects I got to work on in my economic development capacities back in '99 and 2000 was actually helping develop a large warehouse in the Foxborough Industrial Park, which is where they still operate. And so we're actually seeing companies having made investments in our community many, many years ago and reinvesting as they're continuing to grow. And Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company is, as a part of this facility being built, will actually be relocating from their Foxborough facility to this much larger warehouse. Construction on that facility is expected to be complete in the summer of this year. Goodyear is going to be joining a host of major companies at SCLA, and so they're one of many, including Keurig Dr. Pepper, Iron Mountain, Newell Rubbermaid, Arden Industries, Exquadrum, among many others. And so if you haven't been out there, it's worth driving around and checking to see just what the transformation has looked like really over the last 30 years. This one's a little bit bittersweet for me as a golfer when I have the time. Many of you remember that when George closed, there was actually a golf course out there. And it was a pretty tough, challenging little golf course. But we, as Victorville already had one, and we still operate one golf course, we had to make the decision back in 2013, ultimately, what to do with that golf course. It was the West Winds golf course. And we actually decided to shut it down. It was becoming too costly to maintain. And with the shutdown of that facility caused us to reimagine its real estate use, and certainly we've reimagined that for industrial purposes. So we've entered into a relationship with Covington Capital, who is actually planning a large 2.5 million square foot development at the site of the former West Winds golf course. That development is going to include 3 large industrial buildings. One thing that's taken place currently on the airport, because we're so constrained with available space, We're actually refurbishing a building that we refer to as Building 686. And once that building's retrofitted, that 59,000 square foot building that was unused for more than 20 years will actually become ideal for asset management. So that'll be something that's coming to the market fairly soon. Tenant space at SCLA is currently about 99% occupied, so bringing Building 686 online will enable us to offer new user space and generate new revenue for the airport. And we're exploring a number of ways to further develop over 1,600 acres of vacant land suitable for aviation, warehousing, and manufacturing in the area of SCLA. Also at SCLA, we do operate our own city-run Victorville Municipal Utility Services, where just recently we completed its Kern River Interconnect, which furthers our ability to offer natural gas services to commercial customers at competitive rates. So effectively, we've been able to access a much larger supply line where the opportunity in connecting to a gas supply line allows us with the ability to actually go directly to the source for our natural gas commodity, which we deliver to our customers at SCLA. The strategic advantage helps us attract businesses out there. Altogether, Victorville offers industry-reliable and cost-effective electricity, natural gas, industrial wastewater, water, and reclaimed water services. So we've actually put a tremendous amount of focus in developing a utility system, a collective utility system that really is intended to help industry succeed by doing business much more cost-effectively. Restoring the jobs lost at SCLA continues to be at the forefront of our efforts. Currently, we're about 60% of our goal of restoring the 7,500 jobs lost when the base did close. And with continued growth at SCLA, we're on a path to achieve this vision for the benefit of the Victorville community, along with the entire region. So commercial growth, and speaking to that, in Victorville has certainly extended beyond SCLA last year as well. We attracted several national retail brands and medical providers. The first Sprouts Farmers Market in the High Desert opened near the Mall of Victor Valley last March. We also welcomed Superior Grocers, AutoZone, Wingstop, Jersey Mike's, and Fairfield by Marriott. BioLife Plasma Center, Desert Ridge Transitional Care, and the High Desert PACE Center opened in 2024, expanding medical services across every stage of life for the Victorville community. Everybody fancies Raising Cane's, and so we have to report that new development or new business coming in this year includes Victorville's first Raising Cane's. That'll be located at Roy Rogers Drive near the Winco Shopping Center. Pollo Campero will be located off of Mariposa Road. And everybody loves coffee, and so we're going to see a second Dutch Brothers coming to the northeast corner of Palmdale Road and Katina Street in Victorville. And then we do have, like Doug, I was thinking it was an ice cream shop or something involving frozen. It's a desert environment, and why not, right? And so we actually do have a Five Below as well in the High Desert region that'll be located in the Victor Valley Center off of the Bear Valley Road. Currently, and really kind of surprising to me, but I think it's reflective of the demand, especially for our weekday population, increasing the demand for hotel space, given all of the industrial and construction activity that's taken place. Currently, we're seeing 6 hotel brands that are in plan review or under construction in Victorville, including the first Residence Inn for the Victor Valley. This 152-room long-term stay hotel will be located on 2 acres at the corner of Bear Valley Road and Mariposa Road, just north of the WSS shoe store. And it's really a testament to the strength in the industrial market. We have been focused as Victorville for such a long time on industrial development in the Foxborough Industrial Park or even the Southern California Logistics Airport. But we're actually seeing interest in industrial growth at a lot of locations like the other communities up here in the region are, that aren't at dedicated industrial centers. And so for us, we just recently saw a 1.35 million square foot warehouse distribution center at Mojave and Topaz, which is fairly close to US Highway 395. And that was approved and will continue the permitting process for future construction. We're also seeing another 1.1 million square foot facility that is planned for Mojave Drive and Mesa Linda. So away from our traditional industrial centers that we've been focusing on, those are appearing now to fill in with industrial activity. And to touch on residential to balance things out a little bit, also last year, the Victorville Planning Commission approved several residential projects, including 3 tentative tract maps representing the development of approximately 616 new single-family homes. So Victorville has been moving at a fairly stable pace of about 500 homes a year. That's what we've been tracking. And so we're actually expecting to see that pick up a little bit with the tracks that we have underway. Currently, home builders are active in 7 different communities in Victorville. We're also seeing activity on the multifamily side, where we actually are expecting construction on the southeast corner of Balsam and Winona Road. And then finally, on the residential side, we see a 207,000 square foot complex adding 212 units of apartment community living. Also, another 8-unit apartment complex is going to be located on Tokay Street, and that was recently approved. As we're nearing the end here, I must recognize some things that are ongoing that are direct give-backs to the community. Last May, we broke ground on our new Victorville City Library that is being constructed at the Green Tree Golf Course there. We're repurposing a component of the facility that we built back in the early 2000s to actually house a need for additional library space. And so crews are adding an additional 5,000 square feet to that facility, to the back of it, thanks to a $9 million competitive grant from the California State Library System. The new library will double in size of our current facility, enabling us to increase programming for our communities. And so barring any delays, our new Victorville City Library will open in 2026. Currently, we're in the design phase of our new police station with a real-time crime center to be located on Civic Drive across from the Auto Park at Valley Center. That was funded in part, at least the acquisition of the property was funded in part with a grant from our county supervisor to the order of $3.7 million. It's going to incorporate a real-time crime viewing center and integrate technology such as our ALPR technology. We're actually working on the development of a shot spotter gunshot detection system along with first responder drone flight response for emergencies. So with that, as you can see, in Victorville, we're experiencing growth across a variety of sectors in Victorville, from retail and warehousing to manufacturing and aviation. This growth is bringing jobs to our residents and fostering our economy. We expect this growth to continue, and we're extremely grateful to the many businesses that are investing in Victorville. So with that, I appreciate your time and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
Appreciate it.
job.